Practically neighbors, the Rangers ballpark in Arlington, scene of tonight's 4th game of the World Series. And Cowboys Stadium, where the Cowboys and Rams battle today. And what a day for sports on Fox here at the Dallas Metroplex, as Jason Garrett, head coach of the Cowboys, leads his team on the field, looking to get even on the year as they take on the St. Louis Rams. And welcome everyone to Arlington. Dick Stockton along with John Lynch. And if you want a close game down to the wire, the Cowboys are the team to watch. In their last 11 games, they have been decided by 4 points or fewer, but I have to wonder, John, whether that pattern's going to continue today.
Well, you kidding me? These are the cardiac Cowboys. Every game goes down to the wire. But if you're the Cowboys, it's time to make your move right now. You want to compete for this division, you got to make your move. And to do that, you got to rely on your best players. And without question, the best player on this football team is DeMarcus Ware. In my mind, if you had an MVP right now, you'd have co-MVPs, Aaron Rodgers from the Packers and DeMarcus Ware. He's that good. You'll see him all over the field. But we all know, as goes Tony Romo, so go the Cowboys. And Tony Romo's season's been up, it's been down. It ended last week in New England with them handing the ball off 3 times, giving the ball back to Tom Brady and getting beat. It's time for Tony Romo to get that psyche healthy. He's got an opportunity today. And, of course, an opportunity against a winless Rams team 0-5. And Sam Bradford with a high ankle sprain will not start. So A.J. Feely, a veteran, gets the nod. What does that all mean for the Rams? Well, A.J. Feely's been here before. He's an 11-year vet. He's done this before. 4-1 in 2002 with Steve Spagnuolo in Philly in place of Donovan McNabb. Now, Steven Jackson's going to get a big workload. The Cowboys know that, though. And so if you're the Rams, your new acquisition, Brandon Lloyd, you got to take advantage of him outside if they try to sell out to stop Steven Jackson. So it's been a roller coaster season for Romo, and Ware is getting praise all over the place. Bill Belichick's put him in the same class as Lawrence Taylor, which is really saying a mouthful. And the Rams winning the toss will get the ball. Dan Bailey gets this game underway, and Quinn Porter will run it out from 3 yards in the end zone for the Rams, and he returns it close to the 25-yard line. So A.J. Feely, an 11-year veteran, and last played, you mentioned, 4 years ago with the Philadelphia Eagles. And back in 2002 had a very impressive finish at 4-1 with the Eagles. But he has to lead his team today. And you're absolutely right as far as Brandon Lloyd, maybe the best receiver they've had in the last couple of years. First down on the 24. Steven Jackson on the first play of the game. And Jackson will get about a yard. Take a look at the Rams offense. And they are last in the league in scoring, averaging just under 10 points a game. Lloyd and Jackson hope to change that. And this is where their struggles have really started up front. A lot of resources, high draft choices, high price free agents. It hasn't paid dividends as of yet. Needs to today. 2nd and 9, and here's Jackson, and Jackson gets about 2.5 yards, tackled by Marcus Spears. Taking a look at the Cowboys defense, #1 against the rush. And, of course, the key man, DeMarcus Ware, and also where he lines up from play to play. He'll line up all over, as will Sean Lee. Sean Lee's having an outstanding season, leads the NFL in takeaways. In the back end, they're solid, but we'll see a lot of players. Everybody on our depth chart will play on this defense for the Dallas Cowboys. 3rd down and 7, and the quick pass to Greg Salas, and he'll pick up the first down for the Rams to the 39-yard line. Salas, rookie from Hawaii, picks up 12. Well, Salas led them in receiving last week. You're going to see him lined up in a tight bunch. You're going to throw a quick screen and let him use his legs. Kind of replace Danny Amendola, the great slot receiver for the St. Louis Rams, who was injured in week 1. This guy's got some promise. They're very high on him. And Denario Alexander with a good block. Wide receivers who block are valuable. Here's a first down, and Jackson is hit, will lose yardage on the play. And it'll be a loss of 3. Jay Ratliff was the first man in. If you're #1 in the National Football League and up front, in the NFL. Your guys up front are doing their job. And watch Jay Ratliff going against a good center and Jason Brown. That's winning the line of scrimmage and then finishing on top of it. Outstanding play by Jay Ratliff.
So this is a game in which the Rams, who are near the bottom in rushing offense against the best team in the league and stopping it. Second down and 13, but they'll run it to Jackson again. And Jackson can't get by Keith Brooking, and he gets 3 of those yards back, bringing up third down.
Well, you just spoke of it. Rush offense, 23rd in the NFL for the St. Louis Rams. Now, I will say that Steven Jackson hasn't been healthy. Hurt himself in the very first carry of the season. Talked to the running back coach, Sylvester Croom, down on the field before the game. He said this is the first game. Last week was the first game that Steven was completely healthy. We're excited to have him back and ready.
Had a quad injury in week 1 after a long touchdown scare. Third down and 10, and Feely's pass is thrown behind Alexander, incomplete. So fourth down coming up, and the Rams, after getting a first down, will have to kick. That's Rob Ryan, who's the personality, and we can say that and underscore that for the Dallas defense.
Well, we do a lot of these production meetings, and what a treat it was to go in there. Rob Ryan, a guy who's passionate about the game of football, really has his group playing good football for the Dallas Cowboys.
Donnie Jones will kick it away, and Des Bryant is back deep. He'll call for the fair catch, the big bounce, and it will take a St. Louis bounce indeed, and will get inside the 5. So that'll work for the Rams. Donnie Jones with a punt of 59 yards. And so the Cowboys will start from the 4. Tony Romo. He's pulled out victories at the end, John, and he has lost some games that you thought the Cowboys were going to win. How do you figure Romo?
Well, you know, I watch him on film. He does so many good things, and I think that's the tough deal. You see the good. He can be magnificent. Has a lot of Aaron Rodgers in him, but he's had some tough finishes to games. Detroit, the New York Jets game, and that would make any quarterback skittish. An opportunity, as I said in the open, for him to get healthy, get his psyche right today.
They haven't run the ball much. First and 10. And the handoff is to Shard Choice, who dives forward. Will be short by a couple of yards. Quentin Michael making the tackle. And the gain of 7. Felix Jones with a high ankle sprain is out of there. And Choice, who starts, will share the running back duties with impressive rookie DeMarco Murray.
Well, Jason Witten is really the security blanket for Tony Romo. Those two are in sync. They've had their own offensive line struggles up front. They've been going through a transformation with this offensive line from the traditional Dallas Cowboys, huge and massive up front, to a smaller group.
Second down and 3, and that may be the reason why they don't run so well. Here is Romo getting some time, and the pass is caught by Witten. He'll be short of the first down by a yard, and a good play by James Laurinaitis, the middle linebacker. Let's take a look at the Rams defensively, and they were a little bit out of character against the Packers last week, weren't they?
Well, they've been out of character because they've been so injured. 7 cornerbacks no longer with the team that started on week 1. Hard to pressure when you don't have the guys in the back end. Darian Stewart playing really well for these guys, but the corners are where they struggle.
You know how often we say that yellow line is unofficial and it's not down on the field? Well, we saw a yard shy. It is a first down for the Cowboys. So it's a first and 10 at the 13. Romo tries for the screen, and that could have been a dangerous play, as Tashard Choice on the screen, and there was a Ram defender, Justin Bannon, right in his face. Flag is down. Our first penalty of the game. Alberto Riveron, the referee.
Holding, number 51, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down. There is no foul for pass interference. However, defense may not hold the player behind the line of scrimmage. That's why it is holding. So it is 5 yards, automatic first down.
So that was on Brady Papinga, the strong side linebacker, and it'll be a first down, and they'll move it out to the 18.
That actually, I think Alberto Riveron misidentified Brady Papinga. It was Justin Bannon, 95, that tackled Choice in the backfield.
It's early. First down from the 18, and here's Choice. Flag is down. Tashard Choice is knocked out of bounds close to the first down by Quentin Michael, the free safety, by the penalty marker thrown at about the line of scrimmage.
That's in the area of an offensive hold on the edge.
Holding, number 24, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Breaking up is his microphone, but Tony Fiammetta was holding nonetheless.
And you watch Tony Fiammetta, the fullback. He's going to get a handful of James Laurinaitis. Referees right on the call, and they got that one right.
So now DeMarco Murray, the third-round draft pick out of Oklahoma and highly touted by the Cowboys, has come in at running back, and Choice and Murray will divide those duties with Felix Jones out. First down and 19, the ball placed back at the 9. Half the distance on that penalty. Romo on a delay, hands up to Murray. DeMarco Murray going all the way for the touchdown. 91 yards for the score.
That's going to have Jason Garrett and all Cowboys fans smiling, because that's really what's been ailing this team. The inability to run the football. We talked about the offensive line moves. They've got a new young offensive line. They're 27th in the league coming into today and running the football. DeMarco Murray provided a spark last week, continues it here today.
And Dan Bailey is on for the extra point for the Cowboys, and the kick is good. So the Dallas Cowboys on a 91-yard run by DeMarco Murray take a 7-0 lead.
Look at the subtleties of Tony Romo's play. Here's what he does really well. He sells pass here. It looks like pass all the way. That freezes the linebackers. Good block by 24, the fullback Tony Fiammetta. And DeMarco Murray does the rest of the work, making Quentin Michael, the safety, beat. Then he uses that speed to go all the way to the end zone. Great play and execution by the Dallas Cowboys.
And that's the longest play from scrimmage of the season for the Cowboys. And there is the fake on Quentin Michael. And Jason Garrett loves what he sees. And the Cowboys, who are hemmed in their own territory, break free and take the lead.
Jason Garrett really preached, as I said, all the things that this team's been struggling with. Red zone offense, third down offense. He says they can all be fixed if we can run the ball effectively. Good start for the Cowboys.
It is the second longest run by a Cowboy. Tony Dorsett's NFL record 99-yard run was the only one that was longer. That was on January 3rd, 1983. So Quinn Porter going back deep, and Bailey again kicks it deep this time. And the Rams will take it out to the 20. So the St. Louis Rams find themselves in an early hole, down 7-0 to the Cowboys. We'll be right back.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
And welcome back to Cowboys Stadium. And after the touchdown, Jason Garrett, who was not pitching tonight in Game 4 between the Cardinals and the Rangers, has his lucky World Series baseball, goes right back in the pocket. Rams trailing by 7, starting out from the 20. A.J. Feely. Feely completes the pass for a first down out to the 32 to Brandon Lloyd. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee for a game break.
Well, a lot like your game, a big play in the early going, at least, for Christian Ponder. His first pass as a starter, he hooks up with Michael Jenkins. Jenkins down to the 1-yard line. Ponder then threw a touchdown pass, his first as a pro, and Minnesota leads Green Bay 7-0, Dick and John.
All right, so Green Bay 6-0, and the Lions lose for the second straight week. Meanwhile, first down, and the handoff, a flag is down. And we saw one of the Cowboys move, and let's see whether he was drawn off.
Offside, number 94, defense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
That's on DeMarcus Ware. Couldn't wait to get in there.
Now I go bragging on DeMarcus as being the MVP of the league thus far, and he's got to go jump offside on the second series, but he can get away with that because this guy, he's so fun to watch, Dick. And Rob Ryan's defense, we've always known him as a great pass rusher. He's doing a little bit of everything in this. You'll see him rush the passer from the right, from the left. You'll see him play the run, and you'll see him in coverage. It's fun to watch this guy.
And you know what? He has plenty of time to redeem himself.
That's right.
First down and 5. And we'll have a stoppage of play and another flag and a delay of the game call.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Now remember, A.J. Feely has played in the West Coast system throughout his entire career. Josh McDaniels, the new offensive coordinator for the St. Louis Rams, completely different system. So A.J., as excited as he was, told us this is a work in progress. I'm learning this system myself. You do a lot of change in plays at the line of scrimmage in this offense. It caught him on that delay of game.
So they lose the 5 yards they gained on that defensive penalty. So first and 10. Going underneath, the completed pass to Billy Badgema, the tight end, short of 2 yards, picking up 8 yards with Brady James making the tackle.
Now AJ told us the biggest differences in this offense from the one he's used to. Obviously the terminology, but it's the timing. The West Coast system, you get the ball out of your hand as quickly as possible. This one a little more vertical down the field. You got to hold the football, thus the 22 sacks that the Rams have given up this year, forcing the lead.
There is the fake end around, a handoff to Steven Jackson, who has not been able to get on track. Abraham Elam and Gerald Sensabaugh come in, and a loss of 1.
Well, when we talked to Rob Ryan, his #1 priority, he didn't want to hear about quarterbacks. He wanted to stop or corral Steven Jackson, as he said. A.B. doing a great job getting in the backfield, taking the fight to him. Steven Jackson, it's going to take all 8 guys to stop him. Now, if they're going to do that, you got to take advantage of Brandon Lloyd outside.
They want to put the burden back on the quarterback by concentrating on Jackson. So it'll be 3rd down and 3, and this time they fake the end around, and the pass caught in stride by Badgema, who gets into Cowboy territory, and a first down, a 12-yard pickup. Elam, the strong safety on the tackle, so Feely moving the reins.
Well, a really nice design of the play. Brandon Lloyd, the new wide receiver, you fake a little reverse to him, you move A.J. Feely, get him away from the pressure. And Billy Badgema with the big 3rd down conversion. Nice design and execution by Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, and A.J. Feely, the quarterback of the St. Louis Rams.
That's why I think Lloyd could really help them with the deep play, so they can go underneath. First down and 10, and here is Jackson. And Jackson still unable to break away. Josh Brent stops him for a gain of 1. Jackson gaining 160 yards the last time these teams played. And with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, Cowboys in front 7-0, and 2nd down coming up. So Jackson has carried 6 times, but you got to keep feeding him.
You got to keep feeding him. He's a guy who can break it anytime. But I'd say if you're Rob Ryan, you got to feel pretty good. That's corralling him. That's not only corralling him, that's stopping him.
2nd down and 9. And again, here's Jackson. And Jackson runs it out inside the 45, picking up 4.
And that's a good play for the St. Louis Rams offense. You get back half the yards, you put yourself in a manageable 3rd down and 5 situation. A lot more plays on that playbook, on that play sheet, than a 3rd and 10 for Josh McDaniels and for A.J. Feely.
Rams are 0-5 on the year, and have actually dropped 6 straight dating back to last season. 3rd down and 5. Feely getting the rush, and he flips it off to Jackson, and Jackson is stopped. Back at the line of scrimmage, the original one at the 49 by Orlando Scandrick, who has played outstanding football. A loss of 4, and the Rams will punt.
But it's Jay Ratliff again who gets in the backfield, forces A.J. Feely to make the quick throw, and Skandrick, who played outstanding last week, holding Wes Welker to only 6 catches, his season low. Skandrick, a really good player in the nickel, makes the big tackle on Steven Jackson.
So Donnie Jones, whose last punt went 59 yards to inside the 5. But the Cowboys had the big scoring run. Des Bryant will see it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. 4:11 remaining. Steven Jackson hasn't done much yet. Cowboys in front, 7-0.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Likely won't ever see this again. 2 players in uniform playing in the World Series, handling the coin toss. Josh Hamilton of the Rangers and Lance Berkman of the Cardinals. And by the way, Lance Berkman has a connection to football. His father-in-law, Johnny Baker, was a linebacker and a tight end with the Houston Oilers in the 60s. So they had to enjoy coming over here. Not a long ride from the Rangers ballpark. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Tony Romo's first pass, and it's completed for about 8 yards to Laurent Robinson, the former Ram, by the way, and a pickup of 8 yards.
And Tony Romo was thrilled this week because he told us, for the first time, I got all my receivers back and healthy. Miles Austin, Des Bryant, Laurent Robinson, Jason Witten. I've got all those guys together, and that's a tough group to stop. Laurent Robinson got some time in the absence of Des Bryant and Miles Austin. A valuable cog to this offense.
Here's DeMarco Murray, and the Rams are ready for him, led by Poppinga and Laurinaitis, the 2 linebackers. Murray, of course, with the 91-yard touchdown run. 2nd longest in Cowboys history and the longest run in the NFL this season to give Dallas the lead. So it's 3rd and short coming up for the Cowboys with under 3.5 to go in the first.
Right here. Ram. Hey, Boston.
Romo gets time, and the pass incomplete. Murray hit by Robbins, and so 4th down will coming up, and time for a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Miami led Denver 15-0 with less than 3 minutes to go at home, but Matt Prater's 52-yarder in overtime won it for the Broncos. 18-15 the final, but the real story, Dick and John, Tim Tebow threw 2 touchdown passes and ran in a 2-point conversion, all in the final 3 minutes to send it to overtime.
Well, what took him so long, Kurt? Matt McBride punting to Austin Pettis, but the kick goes out of bounds. How about that late magic by Tebow?
It's Tim Tebow. Not always pretty, but the guy knows how to get it done.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the Ford F-150, the only truck available with EcoBoost. By new Dr. Pepper 10, 10 calories, 23 flavors. It's not for women. And by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
Kilgore Rangerettes never change. There the total yards. Remember, 91 for Dallas's 110 came on 1 play. And A.J. Feely has completed 5 of 6 for 40 yards as Sam Bradford really disappointing in not getting a chance today. This is close to a homecoming as he'll get growing up in Oklahoma City. 1st down on the 36. And the pass deflected by DeMarcus Ware. Incomplete, and a penalty flag down.
One thing A.J. Feely's doing a nice job early is changing up the snap count. He's got the Cowboys one time. I think he got him here.
Defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Sure did. So Kenyon Coleman, the left end, apparently was the one who jumped.
When you're a veteran, you played in this league for 11 years. Those are the little things that can help put a chill on a guy like DeMarcus Ware, on a defensive line like the Cowboys present.
Get a little skittish. 1st down and 5. And here's Steven Jackson, head down, but nowhere to go up the middle. Picks up 1 yard. Runs right into the middle of the line, and Brady James, the middle linebacker. Jackson has
3, -1. Now, I agree you got to continue running it, but A.J. Feely said, we're going to take our shots in this game. They got to be coming soon because Dallas is selling out to stop Steven Jackson one-on-ones outside.
But you got to still show that run. As anyone will tell you, 2nd down and 4. Here's Feely's pass, and it's complete, and losing the ball. And they're going to say down by contact was Denario Alexander as Elam was all over him. And a pickup of 3. So it'll be 3rd down and short coming up. 3rd and about 1.5 yards for the Rams.
For A.J. Feely, you got to know you got Brandon Lloyd out there. Brandon Lloyd provides a dimension that these Rams haven't had at the wide receiver position. Speed. He's got speed to run right by these Dallas Cowboys defensive backs. Look at the high tempo right now.
And look at the Cowboys scramble defensively. Multiple tight ends. Here's Jackson going forward. Will get the 1st down and carries the pile to midfield. James was on him all the way, but a 5-yard pickup for Steven Jackson. 1st down, St. Louis.
Well, this is why you got to continue to run a guy like Steven Jackson. He's going to find the hole. Jay Ratliff in the backfield. He eludes him, gets by the arm tackle of Anthony Spencer. Big 1st down for Steven Jackson.
A lot of people say, while you're running, he's not gaining anything. You have to continue to show it.
Absolutely, and that will open up Brandon Lloyd and these Rams receivers outside.
Cadillac Williams has come in the game. He comes in as the leading rusher for the Rams. 1st down in midfield, and the quick screen to Williams. Cadillac Williams will pick up another 1st down, gets hit hard, loses the ball, and the Cowboys may have recovered it. Dallas recovers the fumble, and it was Elam, the strong safety, who forced it. Cadillac Williams coughs it up, and the recovery by Elam as well, and the Cowboys will get it back.
Well, that's all on Abe Elam. He's going to knock the ball out and recover it himself. The Rams have a little rhythm. Abram Elam puts a stop to it. I think that's Cadillac Williams down on the injury. But as we were at commercial, we noticed that possibly Abram Elam stepped out of bounds. And actually, that's Jason Smith, excuse me, down on the field. And I thought for a second Abe Elam stepped out of bounds, but what he did, Dick, he does step out of bounds after he forces the fumble, but then he reestablishes himself back in the field of play, which allows him to go ahead and recover the play. So Cowboys ball, great play by Abram Elam.
And a good no challenge that time, because the Rams would have lost it, had only 1 left, and been charged with a timeout. So Elam reestablishes himself and recovers the fumble. We'll take another break. Back here at Cowboys Stadium, and they have brought the stretcher out for Jason Smith, the injured lineman who was the #1 draft pick by the Rams in '09 and a native of Dallas. Attended W.T. White High School. And Jennifer Hale, who's the 3rd member of our team down on the field, let's check in with her.
Well, Dick, John, it looks like number 77, Jason Smith, is hurt pretty significantly. I just watched the trainer remove the face mask off of his helmet in order to be able to get at his nose and mouth. His breathing is very labored, and they have just moved the cart onto the field. He's still down on his back. They have not been able to get him up as of yet. Dick, John?
All right, Jennifer, thank you.
A real scary situation. You watch at the end of this play, Abram Elam picks up the ball, and it's Jason Smith who comes in for the tackle, and look what happens to his neck. Head down, and boy, that doesn't look great. So you just hope and pray that Jason Smith, we've got good medical people here. You hope that that everything's all right for Jason.
And it's amazing how these kinds of injuries, we've seen them over the years, John, cast Hall and the entire crowd. I mean, right now, the football game takes a huge backseat to this.
Well, the entire stadium's quiet right now, as it should be. Great respect from the Dallas Cowboy fans. I think everyone's scared when you see the stretcher come out. And I know what this does to players. I've been here before as well. Took part in that game that Kevin Everett played in up at Buffalo. And it really just, it's tough to go play a football game after you see something like this.
I think the question is, for someone who's been part of this, how do you do it? Go back and play.
Well, you know what you do, you say your prayers that he's going to be all right, and then understand you got a job to do, and everyone's heart will be with Jason Smith, but you just put it in the hands of the people that know what they're doing here, and trust that and pray that everything's all right.
All right, well, we have a moment. We're going to send it out to Los Angeles. Kurt Menefee with a game break. Kurt?
And, of course, all our thoughts going out to Jason Smith as they attend to him. In the meantime, we'll get you updated on a couple of other games. That's Aaron Rodgers hooking up with John Kuhn to tie the game in Minnesota at 7 apiece in the first quarter. And also the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road at Arizona. Ben Roethlisberger finding his tight end Heath Miller for a 12-yard score. They take the early lead 7-0 in that one. That's what's going on around the rest of the league. In the meantime, let's get it back to you, Dick and John, while they attend to Jason Smith there on the field in Dallas.
All right, Kurt, thank you for bringing us up to date. And the players around Jason Smith.
You know, teams have become so careful with this, so skilled at knowing what to do, the right thing to do. There's great people that are in charge of things like this in every stadium in the National Football League. And just can't say enough how much your heart goes to Jason Smith and his family.
This is where the prayers come in.
Absolutely. It's not a fun thing for anyone to see. This is a tough and physical game, but you never hope that happens to anyone. And his teammates concerned, the Dallas Cowboys are concerned. That's the respect that players have for each other in this league. And it's a good sign that he's moving his hand right there. That's the best thing I've seen yet. He just raised his hands, saying thank you to the fans.
And again, we're going to show you the hand movement in the wave. There it is from Jason Smith. That's a great thing to see.
The best thing I've seen all day. That's good.
And we understand there has been a challenge thrown on that last play as far as reestablishing. And we'll get to that in a moment.
Here's the play that's being challenged. It's back to the Abram Elam caused fumble. And watch his left foot after he causes the fumble. Right about here, he's going to step out of bounds. Now, so long as you reestablish your feet back in bounds, you can go be the first guy to touch that ball.
The field stands. St. Louis will be charged with a timeout. First down, Dallas.
And you said that right away, that he reestablished himself, and I thought that Steve Spagnuolo and the Rams staff deserve kudos for not challenging something that was apparent there, but they did challenge it, lost it. They have only one challenge left, and they'll be charged with a timeout. So we're back to action with 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 38. Cowboys leading 7-0. DeMarco Murray, the running back. He ran 91 yards for the score. And here's Romo going outside. Pass caught by Witten. And the tight end gets a few extra yards into Ram territory to the 44. Justin King on the tackle, a pickup of 18.
Now that's just a pitch and catch for Tony Romo and Jason Witten. These guys are so in sync. I've played against Jason Witten a number of times in my playing days, and he's a guy that you watch on film and say, all right, he can't run. And then you play him and he's separating from you. Well, he's not that strong. Well, yeah, he's strong. He does it all at the tight end position. As productive as a player as there is in this league at that position. Outstanding player.
That's Jason Witten of the Cowboys at the end of the first quarter. Cowboys lead the Rams 7-0. And we're back here in Dallas, start of the second quarter. And a first down at the 44 of the Rams for the Cowboys. Tony Romo getting rushed, and down he goes. And a big loss on the play. And that was James Hall, a loss of 11. First sack of the game for the Rams.
James Hall working right here on Doug Free. Doug Free has struggled this season. James Hall, 10.5 sacks last year. Gets after Tony Romo. Great play by James Hall, bringing down Tony Romo.
And that knocks the Cowboys out of St. Louis territory. Bring up second down and 21, back on the Cowboy 45. Here's Romo stepping up with time, and the pass complete to Des Bryant, and Bryant gets all of it back and more, and Bryant is out of bounds, close to the 20-yard line, and a big play of 34 yards, and a big play to Des Bryant and a first down for Dallas.
Well, the St. Louis Rams were certainly aware of Des Bryant and all that he brings to the table, and what he does is everything. Size, speed. Des Bryant's going to run the dig route, the in-breaking route. But when he catches the ball, it's not over. This guy's like Brandon Marshall out in Miami with his strength and size, speed. Outstanding football player. They're happy to have him and healthy for the Dallas Cowboys.
So now the Cowboys on the Rams 21. And here's Romo wide open up the middle, and the pass caught by LaRon Robinson. And they get inside the 5-yard line where Al Harris, the veteran, makes the tackle, a 17-yard gain. So they knock Romo back, and then he comes back and burns him with 2 big plays.
Got a little rhythm, and that's what Tony Romo can do as well as anybody in this league. Get yards and chunks. He's got his full complement of receivers back. This is a highly explosive offense when they're all healthy, and today they are all healthy.
Well, we've got a guest we want to bring in, but the Cowboys are not going to let us
let us
yet. No, it's the first down and goal at the 4. And there is the fade. And a good defensive play. It was Des Bryant, but Al Harris played him well. So it'll be second down and goal at the 4. The Cowboys leading 7-0 early in this second quarter.
Well, and that's what Cowboy fans have been clamoring for down in the red zone. Des Bryant with the size that I talked about, those one-on-one matchups, they got it right there, but a great play by Al Harris.
There you see that the Rams coming in with the lowest touchdown percentage in the red zone, second and goal at the 4. Murray is the running back. Here's Murray, and he gets down to about the 1, and Laurinaitis wouldn't let him get in. That'll bring up third and goal.
Well, the Rams the lowest percentage in the league offensively, but the Cowboys right behind them at the second worst red zone offense in the league. And a lot of that stems from their inability to run the football down there. You don't get the one-on-one matchups because everyone says if they're not going to run it, we'll keep people back on the receivers.
Cowboys picked up 51 yards on 2 plays, now trying to knock it in. There's a play fake, and the pass wide open into the end zone is Jason Witten for the touchdown, and no one within yards of him. And the Cowboys lead 3-0 as Dan Bailey comes on to make it 14-0. They made it look easy here.
Tony Romo, these are some of the subtleties. The quick pump that frees up Jason Witten. Easy touchdown for Tony Romo.
And the extra point is good. 7 plays, 62 yards, 14-0.
Well, Tony Romo's roller coaster ride continues. Gets the sack on first down, but then comes back with the big plays. Outstanding job by Tony Romo. Jason Witten, touchdown Cowboys.
Today's game is sponsored by the Miller Lite Aluminum Pint. 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste. By Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. And by Cadillac.
Dallas Cowboys have jumped in front of the St. Louis Rams 14-0. Still early in the second quarter, Jason Witten with the touchdown reception from Tony Romo, who attacked with a vengeance after that sack. And now Bailey kicking off to Porter in the end zone. Porter's going to run it out. And Porter gets upended. And His forward progress will be the 15. All right, we can't get to the special guest. He's done a great job in our studio before postseason baseball. There he is getting hit and getting hits. He was a member of a World Championship White Sox team. None other than A.J. Anthony John Pierzynski. We'll call him A.J. though, just because we become very friendly with him. So, A.J., welcome. I know this is the first time you've been in Cowboy Stadium.
This place is amazing. There's no baseball stadium that could even compare. I guess the closest would be Yankee Stadium, but it's not even near the scoreboard. I want to watch the whole game sitting on a recliner.
Well, if it goes long, you may have to go somewhere else. And here is A.J. Feely on first down. And the pass is caught by Brandon Lloyd and picks up about 7 yards. We've had 2 nail biters and then an explosion.
Well, an explosion by Albert Pujols. 3 homers, 6 RBIs, 5 hits. That's a World Series, 7-game series in 1 game for that guy. And he obviously took the inside track to the MVP last night. Gave the Cardinals a huge lift in Game 3, especially with the pitching and the way the pitching was destroyed for the Texas Rangers. So tonight's a must-win for Texas, and it's pretty cool though. You have St. Louis versus Texas on football and baseball at the same time.
This is a rarity to say the least. Second down and short. And Steven Jackson. And anytime you're in this kind of company, 3 homers in a World Series game. Babe Ruth did it twice. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, and Albert Pujols last night.
And A.J., all Albert was doing was listening to you, right? You called on him in the pregame show, and he answered, right?
Before the game yesterday, we said that Albert needed to step up because he hadn't done anything in the series. All he did was went out and showed me.
Third down and 3, and flags down. We've already seen the Cowboys jump off sides, and let's see whether the Rams were able to do that again.
Encroachment, number 90, defense, 5-yard penalty, which will result in a first down.
It's on Ratliff, and it's a first down for the Rams.
Now, and this has been a problem for the Rams. Ratliff right here is going to jump off sides for the Cowboys. Excuse me, the 10th most penalized team in the league coming into today's game. Now you see guys, A.J., draw them off under the center, but usually not a hard count from the shotgun.
I never saw you do that. I grew up a Bucks fan, so I never saw you do that when you were with the Bucks for all those years.
Hard-hitting, strong safety, we call him. There is the slant, and the pass is caught by Brandon Lloyd for a pickup of 4. This was Pujols last night, A.J.
It's amazing. Every pitch is away. The one he hit off Ogando, the first one, is the farthest ball that has ever been hit into the ballpark in Arlington, off the back wall. I had friends texting me saying, I can't believe the ball went that far. I know it's a bandbox, but still. But that's why he's the best hitter in baseball, and that's why he's going to get a few dollars here on the offseason.
A couple. That's where we'll be later on Fox. Game 4 of the World Series. Meanwhile, second down and 6. Play action pass, and the pass caught by Manawanu, and the pass is complete, and Spencer making the tackle, and a gain of 16 yards. Where do you see the series going from here?
It's a must-win. I said this earlier. It's a must-win for Texas tonight. With the way they got beat last night, and with the way Derek Holland has pitched in the postseason, they have got to find a way to win this game tonight. Their bullpen was ravaged last night. The fact they all had to pitch, they all threw a lot of pitches, so they're in a situation with this game. They go down 3-1 with Chris Carpenter pitching tomorrow. They're in serious trouble.
First down after the 16-yard pickup to the 47 of the Rams. Down by 2 touchdowns. Feely's pass is incomplete, intended for Brandon Lloyd, who was acquired this week in the trade with the Denver Broncos.
So, A.J., go ahead and analyze this. You're a defensive player, a catcher. Watch Alan Ball out there, the cornerback. Go ahead.
Well, it looks like he tried to get great break coming back here, but it wasn't a very good throw either. So, but I want one of these telestrator things. You guys got all the toys in football. We don't get any of this fun stuff in the baseball broadcast.
Don't be envious.
Well, the other,
I mean, between this and the guys' spread you guys have back here, it's unbelievable.
Not bad. Sushi in the box. They take great care of us here.
All right, you want to switch sports, in other words, right?
I don't want to get hit, though.
Second down and 10 from the 47. Here's a quick out to Lloyd. Lloyd dives, will be shy by about 3 yards. And the tackle by Alan Ball
AJ, I want to ask you a question. I know from doing some research, Florida guy, big fan of Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow in his first start goes and gets a comeback win down in Miami today.
Unbelievable. I got a million, we were talking about texts earlier, I got a million texts from people saying, you got to see what Tebow's doing. Meanwhile, I'm on the sidelines at Cowboys Stadium, so I'm happy for Tim. I've met him a few times and talked to him, and he just seems to find a way to get it done. It's not pretty, it's not always the most beautiful thing to watch, but he finds a way to get it done.
So does Steven Jackson. He finds a way to get it done. And Jackson gets inside the 5-yard line. Terrence Newman makes the stop. He picks up 40.
Well, AJ, this is the Rams version of Albert Pujols. He can hit the home run. Steven Jackson follows Jacob Bell. This guy's got the size, speed, strength. How'd you like to see him coming from around third to home base?
He's like Adam Dunn on our team, a former football player. I wouldn't want to see him come, but I'm happy, though. He is on my fantasy team, so I need him to do that about 5 more times between him and DeMarco Murray. But the way he lowers his shoulder, I would not want to be a D-back sitting out there taking that.
First and goal at the 6. Here's Jackson. Jackson is going to score the touchdown, and the Rams come back. A 6-yard score, and for Steven Jackson, only his second touchdown of the season. His first came in the opening game, 47 yards, and then he got hurt.
And we showed how effective the Cowboys were early in stopping Steven Jackson, but you got to keep running the guy, and Billy Badgema helps him out with the big block. You give Steven Jackson that much room, that's trouble for your defense. Great drive by A.J. Feely, Steven Jackson, and these Rams offense.
Josh Brown with the extra point, and the first rushing touchdown since Jackson did it in game 1. A.J., it's been a blast having you.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. John, like I said, I was at the 02 Super Bowl, so I always have a special place for me.
Big fan of yours as well.
Well, thanks
for being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
This is why you keep running Steven Jackson. He's a horse and you ride him. Billy Badgema going to make the block there, get the alley there, and Steven Jackson goes and does the rest of the work. Nice execution by Steven Jackson. Denario Alexander with a big block. Good job by the St. Louis Rams getting themselves back in this football game.
Kicking off to Kevin Ogletree, and he'll down it in the end zone for a touchback. Steven Jackson, 47-yard touchdown opening day, got hurt, comes back and scores one here to cut the lead to 7.
Today's game is sponsored by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Back here in Arlington, Texas, the Cowboys lead cut to 14-7. First down at the 20 for Tony Romo as DeMarco Murray has his setback. Romo's pass and knocked away. Flag goes down. Intended for Miles Austin. Covered downfield by Justin King and Darian Stewart.
They're going to get the pass interference on Justin King rather than the hit on Darian Stewart is what the early indication is.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Pass interference, offense number 19. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, blow to the head on the defense. Those fouls will offset. Replay first down.
Well, actually, they got both of them, and I think they got it right there.
Offsetting penalties. There's Darian Stewart. So it will be 1st and 10 once again from the 20. Dallas took the lead. DeMarco Murray's 91-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Romo hit Witten from a yard out, and then Jackson ran for 6 to cut the lead to 14-7. There's Murray on a delay and picks up 3 yards with Chamberlain making the tackle. Let's go out to L.A. Kurt Menefee in a game break.
The Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against Arizona, and here's something that is a record for even the Steelers. Longest touchdown pass in franchise history. Mike Wallace, 95 yards from Ben Roethlisberger, 14-0. Dick?
All right, Kurt, so we had a long pass, a record for the Steelers, and we had the second longest run by the Cowboys here. When Murray ran 91 yards for the score, play fake to Murray, and the pass to Jason Witten. And Witten fights his way for the first down. Great alert play by the tight end. Gets beyond the 30. Brian Keel ultimately makes the play, and they move the chains.
This is where Witten's such an outstanding football player. Simple boot pass. A lot of tight ends get tackled. Not Jason Witten. He's going to fight for the first down, get the extra yards. He does the little things so well. One of the great football players in this league, Jason Witten.
Off the no huddle. And Murray is knocked back for a loss of 2.5 by Justin King. Came along from the cornerback position.
You're starting to see a little more of the defense that's characteristic of Steve Spagnuolo. He's been hesitant to really blitz the opposing team, Green Bay last week, because he doesn't have the corners. There are 3 starting corners to start the year. They're all on injured reserve with different injuries. But Steve Spagnuolo felt this week, we got to get back to who we are. We're starting to see that pressure heat up.
Second down and 14. Handed off to Murray. And Murray gets a lot of that yardage back out to the 36. Justin King again making the tackle and a pickup of 9 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 5 for the Cowboys. And Tashard Choice comes in and replaces the rookie DeMarco Murray.
Got the no huddle, what they call the red ball offense. Tony Romo loves this. He said he likes the rhythm that it helps establish. He thinks it helps the run game a lot.
Third down and 5. And the pass incomplete. Cowboys yelling for a flag. LaRon Robinson was the intended receiver, so a good defensive stop that time by the Rams. And the Cowboys will kick it away with 5:18 to go in the first half.
Just a misfire by Tony Romo. LaRon Robinson had some separation, just missed on the throw.
So Matt McBriar back to kick, and Austin Pettis, looking from Boise State, back at the 15. Great kick by McBriar, sends Pettis inside the 5. Pettis is hemmed in, and down he goes. So on top of the great punt of 60 yards, good coverage by the Cowboys. And there is Steven Jackson, who has come alive as a rusher, encouraging the Rams. Well, last night, Albert Pujols had the great 3 home runs, and World Series Game 4, Edwin Jackson will pitch for St. Louis, and Derek Holland for the Texas Rangers, who are looking to even the series at 2 games apiece. Cardinals looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead, with Chris Carpenter slated to go in Game 5. But right here, with 5:04 to go in the half, it's a first down on the 13 for the Rams. Cadillac Williams is in the game. Jackson is on the bench, and the pass completed. And right now, let's go down to Jennifer Hale with an update on the injured Jason Smith.
Yeah, John, Dick, right now we have confirmed that Jason Smith's injury is a blow to the head. Doctors are particularly concerned about his spine. The good news is he is able to move his arms and legs, really all of his extremities, but just to be on the safe side and run some more tests, they are transporting him right now to Presbyterian Dallas. Guys.
All right, thank you very much. And Adam Goldberg have replaced him at right tackle. Second down and 9 for the Rams. Williams lining up in the backfield on the shift. And the pitch going to Cadillac Williams, trying to turn the corner, and picks up a yard. Keith Brooking making the tackle after a pickup of 1.
Yeah, we've been talking about Steven Jackson a lot, but quietly, A.J. Feely filling in for Sam Bradford's having an outstanding, efficient day. 12 of 14 for 91 yards. Dick, you continue to run the football well. As I said from the beginning, it's going to open up those receivers outside. Brandon Lloyd, at some point, is going to factor into this game. They're going to take some shots to him. But right now, it's a big third down for A.J. Feely and the St. Louis Rams.
And Steven Jackson remains on the sideline. Rams at 4 of 6 on third down conversions. And here is Feely looking for protection and looking downfield, and the pass is intercepted by Mike Jenkins. And the second turnover of the game. A fumble recovery and the interception here, and the Cowboys will get the ball in Ram territory at the 30. And Feely throws the pick that the pass was intended for Brandon Lloyd.
Where A.J. Feely wanted to go right away was to Cadillac Williams working on DeMarcus Ware. I told you we'd see him all over the field. That's where he wanted to go. DeMarcus Ware, outstanding job. He comes to his second receiver, Brandon Lloyd. Maybe a little bit of the unfamiliarity between the two of them. But watch DeMarcus Ware. Not only a guy that can rush the passer, he can hang with running backs in pass coverage. DeMarcus Ware all over the field.
So a first down on the 30 for the Cowboys and a big chance here. Here is Murray coming to the outside and slowed up by Darian Stewart.
See A.J. Feely talking about what an efficient day he had. But Brandon Lloyd, and he, remember, it was just Wednesday that Brandon Lloyd got on the practice field. Not in sync in the timing, throws it right to Mike Jenkins. Communication breakdown between Brandon Lloyd and A.J. Feely.
Second down and 4. And they hand off to DeMarco Murray again, and Murray close to the first down. With Michael making the stop, and it is a first down for the Cowboys inside the 20.
Well, that draw play has been very effective for the Dallas Cowboys. That's the same play that DeMarco Murray went 91 yards on. Romo comes out, sells pass. They get to the draw. It freezes the linebackers, the 8th man in the box, the safety. It's been very good to the Cowboys thus far today.
First down. Pass completed to Miles Austin, and Austin fighting his way for perhaps another first down. Let's see, he might be a little bit shy of that. Michael again on the play. Pickup of 9. We're winding down to the 2-minute warning, and the Cowboys are going to wait for that break right now. And they are on the 11-yard line of the Rams and threatening to score again. And now at 2:07.
The clock should be set at 2 minutes, and that is a 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning here at Cowboys Stadium. Dallas 14, St. Louis 7. Well, John, the Cowboys have struggled in red zone offense this year, looking to get well against the Rams.
Yeah, 30th in the NFL. Last I checked, there's only 32 teams. Not good. Jason Garrett said it's got to improve 1 for 1 today. We'll see if they can do it again.
Second down and 1. Here's DeMarco Murray, and he'll have the first down as he dives to the 9. Laurinaitis with the tackle. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. Here in Arlington, Texas, what a scene here at Cowboys Stadium this afternoon for the NFL battle. And tonight over at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, Game 4 of the World Series, as A.J. Feely, after throwing the interception, and the Cowboys trying to capitalize for the second time on a Ram turnover. First and goal from the 9. Murray trying to go outside, and he'll lose about 3.5 yards. Brian Keel, good alert play. 3-yard loss on the play.
Well, we spoke of it earlier. Jason Garrett wanting to improve the red zone offense. He thinks it starts with the run game down in the red zone, and right there the Rams are all over it. That's a little bit of the, you talk about the transformation of this offensive line. You're going to see a little bit more misdirection, a little more zone running scheme to the sidelines. Right there, the Rams were on it. Good gap integrity, make a play in the backfield.
Spread it out with 4 wide receivers on second and goal, now from the 12. Here comes the pressure quickly, and the pass through the hands of Des Bryant as the Rams coming in from both sides on Tony Romo. And pressure from Robert Quinn in particular.
Well, the first-round draft pick, but this, quite simply, it's got to be a touchdown. Des Bryant walks in if he catches that football. Got to concentrate better. That's a catch you have to gain the trust of Tony Romo and to help your team.
And Tashard Choice has come in at running back. It'll be now 3rd and goal with less than a half a minute remaining in the first half. The ball remains at the 12. Here's Romo, drills it, and it's incomplete. Bryant was hounded by Justin King, who has played a superb first half in the secondary for the Rams. And a field goal try coming up for the Cowboys.
Well, Al Harris has had his struggle. A 14-year corner coming off a knee injury, but he's doing an outstanding job. Good matchup. His length counters Des Bryant's size very well. Al Harris using those long arms to deflect the ball. Good play by Al Harris and the St. Louis Rams defense.
Good play by Harris indeed. 14th year. This will be a 30-yard attempt by Dan Bailey. And the kick is good. The Cowboys were looking for the touchdown. Des Bryant unable to catch what would have been a sure touchdown play, but the Cowboys lead 17-7 with 15 seconds remaining in the first half. And coming up on the Visa halftime report, Kirk Terry, Howie Michael, and Jimmy. And the great comeback win by Tim Tebow in Miami, coming out of nowhere to win that game in overtime, 18-15. And Cam Newton coming back and winning at home as Carolina beat the Washington Redskins. All of the highlights and big plays coming up at halftime. The scoring drive there for the field goal, 8 plays, 18 yards for Dallas.
Dallas doing a nice job. They want a touchdown there. Could have had a touchdown. Des Bryant catches that football, but Jason Garrett saying, it's all right, we're coming right back to you. Second half production's been a problem for Des Bryant. Been very productive in the first half, second half not so much.
Win Porter back deep, and Dan Bailey kicking off for Dallas. Here's Porter from the 1 and gets it out to the 23 with 9 seconds remaining in the half. Well, this November, Fox Sports steps into the octagon with an epic heavyweight title fight as the #1 ranked contender in the world, Junior Dos Santos, squares off with undefeated world champion Cain Velasquez in the must-see live event you can only catch on Fox. Dos Santos versus Velasquez for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World, live Saturday, November 12th on Fox. And another Ram is injured. Earlier, Jason Smith was taken off on a stretcher and a cart. And Darrell Scott is the injured player here.
It looks like another head or neck situation. Gosh, you hate to see one of these in a game. Now 2 for the St. Louis Rams. Look at this play. Darrell Scott right about here. There he is right there. And watch him. Contact, he goes straight down to the ground. Watch Darrell Scott. Right on contact, he goes down. Again, his head getting shrunk back. Special teams, I'm telling you, Dick, that's where the biggest contact in football goes on. These guys are running downfield. The NFL tried to address it by moving the kickoff up 5 yards this year, the new rule, but there's still always going to be contact. And it's a great lesson for kids at home. Always keep your head up, see what you hit, because when your head goes down, bad things happen.
And we've had a couple of rough ones here in this game with a couple of St. Louis Rams, and the reason why they did move the kick up 5 yards was because most of the injuries occurred on kickoffs. And at the same time, they said that the run up for the kicking team had to be 5 yards maximum and not get a big head of steam. But
they tried to shrink the ability to get that head of steam, but these are big men running really fast down the field. And I don't know if you can ever take that away from the game of football.
So many ways this has been a downer first half for the Rams. Just forgetting the score, to have two of their teammates injured and just
yeah, that's tough. You got to deal with the Cowboys to start with, and then two of your teammates go down with serious injuries. That's hard for them to move forward in a situation like this. And it looked, if you looked at their last couple of offensive drives, looked really like they were starting to establish a rhythm. The interception happens with Feely, leads to points, a field goal for the Cowboys. But more than anything, these two picks, another good sign that Darrell Scott now is sitting up. His head coach, Steve Spagnuolo, talking to him on the field. Always a good sign when people are moving, sitting up.
And listening, you know, to the coach and hearing what he has to say, you know, is significant. Steve Spagnuolo, who trying to get through a campaign here in which last year the team looked like coming really alive at 6-6 and lost 8 of their last 9 coming into this game.
Well, and I thought, like a lot of people thought, this was a team on the come. They've got a young quarterback in Sam Bradford, had a young team that was really developing, and that's what Steve Spagnuolo said. It's just been a perfect storm. Enough injuries with a developing team, a lack of an offseason. This was a young team. They felt like it was getting better, but a very young team. Because of the lockout, they didn't have the offseason. They get hit with the injuries. They go to a new offense. Josh McDaniels, a completely new offense, go from West Coast to Josh McDaniels, and they've had their struggles. You see only scoring 9.8 points per game, doesn't win in the National Football League. Their quarterbacks have been getting killed back there because they're learning a new offense. Rush game hasn't been good. Steven Jackson's been hurt. And then really empty yards when they've got yards. They played the Packers last week, 424 yards. That looks good on the stat sheet, but 3 points, that doesn't look good.
Well, you know, you lose Sam Bradford, and that's, you know, the reason why they were where they were last year and ended up 7-9 on the season and very nearly won the division in the NFC West. Sam Bradford, you don't know how long those high ankle sprains will take to heal. It's not his plant foot, as it turns out. It's his left foot, but still, he was not able to really do much except to drop back a little bit when he did one out to try to do things.
And those high ankle sprains are nasty. They can hang in there for a while. You know, I think you take this season away, things are still bright in St. Louis because you've got Sam Bradford, and he's digressed a little bit this year. I think it's because he's trying to process a completely new offense. And I question at times whether that was the move to make. You had such a productive year, and we all know quarterback is where you win or lose in this game. In this game these days, the ability to throw the ball effectively. Sam Bradford looks so comfortable in the West Coast system. I think Josh McDaniels is a heck of an offensive mind, but to make a rapid departure when a guy as a rookie had such success, I question that a little bit. And we asked Steve Spagnuolo about that, and he said what he did when he had these thoughts was, I called Sam, and Sam said, I'm all right with it, but I think you're seeing the effects of that.
All right, it's good news that Darrell Scott is on his feet right now. The card had come out on the field, and it's the second time in the first half for a player on Steve Spagnuolo's team, and he'll be taken off. And then, of course, the question always is it the system, or do you want to work around what the quarterback can do best?
That's right, and I think this system fits Sam Bradford's skills. It's just new. He's learning. He didn't have an offseason to digest this new offense.
These are halftime coming up next, and a lot to report. There's a game in London today between the Bears and the Buccaneers. Atlanta, Detroit in a big contest, and tight battles throughout the league. And so Scott leaves the game, and the Rams will run the play with 9 seconds remaining in the first half. They've turned it over twice, and the Cowboys have capitalized, getting 10 of their 17 points off of Ram turnovers. And A.J. Feely will take a knee and run out the clock and get ready for the second half. Well, the Cowboys are used to close games, but they have a 10-point lead at intermission in this one. That's the end of the half, 17-7. The Cowboys in front of the Rams. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Visa halftime report after these messages.
Direct your attention to midfield. The coin toss presented by
That was a coin toss before the game, and we're 17-7 football here at Cowboys Stadium. And we get set for the start of the third quarter with the Cowboys leading 17-7, getting 10 of their points off of 2 Ram turnovers. And John Lynch, what do we anticipate in the third quarter? We know the Cowboys have played those close games, but right now they have a 10-point boat. What do we see from the Rams?
Well, I think if you're the Cowboys, you don't want to be in that situation again. You want to go ahead and finish a team. Remember, this is a team that has aspirations of winning the NFC East. You got to go show it right now. When you've got a team you should, by all accounts, beat, go ahead and beat them and take care of it now. The Rams are hanging in here. You've got to continue to rise Steven Jackson offensively and then get some throws down the field with Brandon Lloyd. Some explosion plays in that offense.
Want to remind you to follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Steve Spagnuolo, who took his team to Game 3 of the World Series last night. Really unprecedented. Normally there are intensive meetings the night before. Went to the World Series.
Well, I like the move. I really do. I think it promotes staying loose. You got an opportunity to go do something like that. It was a late game today. They could do their meetings this morning. The players went. They stayed about 4 innings, back in bed by 9 o'clock. I think good move by Steve Spagnuolo. Hopefully St. Louis fans, they took some of that Cardinal karma.
Now they want to get some of it back. Josh Brown kicking off to Kevin Ogletree. And the Cowboys will take it out on the 20-yard line as we send it down to Jennifer Hale.
Well, guys, Coach Jason Garrett certainly succeeded in stepping up the Cowboys' run game in the first half. He wants to find even more balance here in the second half, but to do that, he says the Cowboys need to stretch this lead and apply more pressure. Over on the other side, Coach Steve Spagnuolo says 3 points he emphasized to his player, controlling the football, forcing turnovers on their own, and tackling better. John, Dick.
All right, Jennifer, thank you very much. And so the Cowboys will begin from the 20-yard line. And in the rushing department, the Cowboys outran the Rams 119-59, but the 91-yard touchdown run was huge. Other than that, 28 yards. So they still want to show that they can run the ball. As DeMarco Murray, the rookie from Oklahoma, the 3rd-round pick, on the pitch on the first play of the third quarter, and is brought down at the 26 by Josh Gordy after picking up about 6 yards. Taking a look at the stats in the first half.
And when you look at it, the total yards, Dallas had 206 yards, a lot of them coming on that 91 yards. Dallas started to establish some real rhythm at the end of that first half. You got to be better on 3rd down if you're the Cowboys. That's what's ailing them right now. You got to be better there. For the Rams, you started to get rhythm as well. The 1 interception by A.J. Feely put points on the board for the Cowboys.
So the turnovers did the Rams in that first half. 2nd down and 4 at the 26. There's the pitch going to Murray off the left side. And there's the speed that DeMarco Murray shows. And at Oklahoma, he scored a lot of touchdowns for his team and picks up 19 yards before Darian Stewart brings him down.
Well, Jason Garrett told us, new offensive line, smaller. We got to go to some misdirection and some runs to the outside. Here's misdirection for you. You flip one way, you flip it back to Murray. Open field. Nice job by Jason Garrett, by DeMarco Murray of executing the run game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Scored 65 touchdowns, an Oklahoma record. Tashard Choice has replaced him at tailback. 1st down at the 45. And here is Choice. Dragging him along. Quentin Michael coming in, and a loose ball, and the Rams pick it up. Did not hear a whistle, and let's see if Choice was down by contact or a turnover. And it is a turnover as Al Harris recovers the fumble. And Choice is shaken up for the Cowboys.
Watch Choice here. The hand's down. The hand's not, you're not down by contact if your hand is on the ground. It looks like the ball comes out prior to any other part of his body being down. Looks like this will be the Rams' ball.
And another player injured, Tashard Choice, who replaced DeMarco Murray, will take a timeout. Be right back.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram. By Universal Pictures Tower Heist, starring Ben Stiller and Eddie Murphy. Tower Heist, November 4th. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
So the fumble by Tashard Choice, who is being tended to on the Cowboys bench, and recovered by Al Harris. And so the Rams get a break here early in the third in Cowboy territory. First down on the 44. Feely has completed 12 of 15 for modest yards. 91 has thrown an interception. Steven Jackson in the backfield. He gained 59 in the first half. Play fake to Jackson. And there is Feely going deep for Brandon Lloyd, and it's knocked away. And Mike Jenkins with a textbook defensive play downfield.
And oftentimes, right after a turnover, great time, middle of the field to go ahead and take a shot. Brandon Lloyd, this is what he does best, goes up and gets the ball, but outstanding play by Mike Jenkins. No contact, getting his arm out there, deflecting the pass. Good play by Mike Jenkins.
And that's the first time they've really taken a shot in this game.
And that's good. It has an effect. Whether it was successful or not, it has an effect. It loosens up the defense, allows you to make hay with Steven Jackson.
Second down and 10. Here's Jackson on the give up the middle. And nothing doing there as Sean Lee, the weak side linebacker, holds Jackson to no gain.
Well, Sean Lee is an outstanding football player for the Dallas Cowboys, a rising star, an emerging star. Leads the NFL in takeaways, 3 interceptions, 2 recovered fumbles. Very instinctive player. The Cowboys are really high on this guy, and they should be. Rob Ryan said just an outstanding, instinctive football player.
Has a great knack for that ball. Third down and 10. Not in field goal range right now are the Rams. Here is Feely getting pressure, and the screen pass incomplete. And they were trying to go to Brandon Lloyd, and the pass was at his feet. Good pressure by Jay Ratliff, the nose tackle. So now the Rams will have to punt.
It's a screen pass to Steven Jackson, but Steven Jackson got caught up in the mess in the backfield. Good job by the Dallas Cowboys defense getting off the field on third down.
Des Bryant back deep. Donnie Jones will kick. And directional kicking away from Des Bryant. No, it actually went right to him. He called for the fair catch. Looked like they were going to the near sideline. They didn't, but the 33-yard kick does the job inside the 20.
Well, you look at the Cowboys up 17-7 in the third, but every single game they play goes right down to the wire. 27 seconds into overtime, a minute 47, a minute 39, 22 seconds. That's why we're calling them the Cardiac Cowboys. Every game right down to the wire. We'll see if it happens today.
Well, it's been a lot of 5-1 teams they've been playing. This is not a 5-1 team, and the Rams can only hope they get it down that close. First down for the Cowboys. And Romo stepping up, and he goes underneath and off the hands of DeMarco Murray for a game break. Let's check in with Kurt.
Another week, another great game for Aaron Rodgers. 20 of 23, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns already against the Vikings, including the 79-yarder to Greg Jennings. 27-17, Green Bay leads it in the third quarter. Dick and John on the year. Rodgers, 20 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions.
Wow.
Incredible season Aaron Rodgers is having. But it's pretty easy when they're that wide open. You got to cover them.
Meanwhile, second and 10. Vikings have been challenging in that game somewhat. Second and 10 at the 12. And this pass thrown out of bounds, intended for Miles Austin. So 3rd down and 10. Coming up for the Cowboys, Romo has completed 8 of 15 for 98 yards. Certainly not a passing display by the Cowboys offensively here into the 3rd.
And you know who's playing a really good game is Al Harris, the cornerback for the St. Louis Rams. A lot of fear having Al Harris out there in his 14th year. Not many corners play that long. Al Harris has been a tremendous player. Hurt his knee last year. Back with Steve Spagnuolo, playing at a high level today.
Come on.
And here comes the blitz from the secondary, and the pass is caught for the 1st down. Dez Bryant. And still on his feet. He's finally brought down at the 25 by Craig Dahl, picking up 13 yards. That could have been a big stop defensively for the Rams, but they let the Cowboys get out of danger, and they have a new set of downs.
Well, that's what happens. They want to bring pressure. You got one-on-ones with Dez Bryant outside. He's going to run a little underneath, China route they call it. Going to come underneath and pluck it with his hands. That's the one he should have caught earlier going in the end zone. Good job, Tony Romo, going right back to him. And nice catch by Dez Bryant.
34-yard catch earlier. That was his 2nd reception of the game. First down, and DeMarco Murray bounces off. And good hustle by Al Harris once again. He's doing it as a pass defender and as a run defender, and a 3-yard pickup by Murray there.
Al Harris having a fine game, but we talked about Dez Bryant. Extremely productive in the 1st half. 2nd half, only 2 catches. That's the entire season. And what happened, Dick, when you talk to the Cowboys, Jason Garrett, he got hurt in the 1st game, hasn't been able to practice much. His conditioning's been an issue. They feel like it's finally back. He's ready to be productive throughout the entire game.
And those numbers were coming into this game, and the pass thrown behind Witten, but he manages to make the play anyway. And he is brought down by Quentin Michael. So Witten just have to throw the ball within the same time zone that he's in. And he picks up 5.
You talk about the trust that Tony Romo has in Jason Witten. This is why, and this is how you earn that trust. You catch everything he throws in your area, and then if you're Jason Witten, you don't just stop there. You throw Quentin Michael off, you go get more yards, put yourself in a 3rd and 2 situation.
Witten, 5 catches, 35 yards, and a touchdown. 3rd down and 2. And the pass is incomplete. Flag is down.
They caught the Rams with 12 guys on the field. Rams trying to substitute.
Defense, 12 men in the field. 5-yard penalty, which will result in a 1st down.
And that's what an 0-5 team will do. Just when they stop a good team on a 3rd down and short, the penalty gives new life to Dallas.
Now it's James Butler who's going to try to run off. Romo does a great job of snapping the football. James Butler right there. Too many guys on. Romo snaps the ball, gets the penalty. 3rd down conversion by penalty for the Dallas Cowboys.
So the ball is up to the 38, 1st down. Murray, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. That was James Hall who made the tackle. Number 96, Hall, on the play. But for Murray, he has carried 14 times for 140 yards, but that 91-yard touchdown really has set the tone for the Cowboys, who have never trailed. Rams showing blitz, and here they come. Pressure on Romo, but the pass caught by Bryant. And Dez Bryant gets knocked into Ram territory and a 1st down. Chris Long put the shot on Bryant. A 13-yard pickup for the Cowboys.
Look at the pressure. They're going to put everybody up there. Chris Chamberlain gets after Tony Romo, but Romo gets the ball out of his hands in the hands of his playmaker, Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant makes good things happen with the ball in his hands. Romo recognizes it, gets away from the pressure. Great job by Tony Romo.
And Bryant averaging 20 yards a reception. 1st down at the 49 of the Rams, drilling this one. And the pass caught. Good for an 8-yard gain to Miles Austin. And Romo is in rhythm right now. for the Cowboys.
And you start to see the options that they have at the receiving core. You've got Jason Witten, you've got Des Bryant, you have Miles Austin, LaRon Robinson. A lot of weapons for these Cowboys, and Tony Romo's very able to get the football to him. This is an explosive offense, as we said.
So you saw Bryant go out. Romo on this drive has completed 4 of 6. First down at the 42 of the Rams. Hand off to Murray. Murray with a first down, not satisfied with just moving the chains, gets some more as he carries it to the 32 of St. Louis. Chris Chamberlain, the weak side linebacker, starting in place of Ben Lieber today, but a gain of 10 for Murray, who has picked up 150 on the day.
Well, we're getting tremendous audio of Tony Romo calling everything at the line of scrimmage. He's putting them in the right situation, getting in the right play, and it's working. DeMarco Murray, it helps when he's running hard, breaking tackles, but Tony Romo doing a great job of directing this offense on the field with a lot of audibling at the line of scrimmage.
And Philip Tanner has come in for the first time from Tennessee State. Very impressive training camp, and finally a time called by Romo as the play clock was running down. So with 7:12 to go in the third quarter, Jason Garrett's Cowboys lead by 10 over the Rams.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL from your Verizon phone to get NFL Mobile.
Well, there are plenty of special touches here at Cowboys Stadium. And Jerry Jones, son Stephen, to his right. And Gene Jones, his wife, has done a terrific job with specially commissioned 13 pieces of artwork for the stadium. Stadium artwork was unveiled with 23 original pieces. First and 10 at the 33 for the Cowboys, who are driving here in the third quarter. Play action. Romo getting chased from behind and dropped by Gary Gibson. For a game break, Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals had pulled it within 3 of the Steelers, but the Steelers opened it right back up in the next possession. Ben Roethlisberger, Emmanuel Sanders, it's 24-14. Steelers rolling right now. Roethlisberger, 3 touchdown passes and a big celebration. Dick and John?
It's Big Ben for you. The guy knows how to make plays, always has, and continues to do it. Pittsburgh Steelers homing again. Everyone said they were too old. They're winning football games like they always do in Pittsburgh.
They have a tradition with a capital T. DeMarco Murray has checked back in for the Cowboys. It'll be second down and 14 at the 37, and the delay handoff to Murray. Murray trying to go outside and is dragged down by Josh Gordy, the former Green Bay Packer, after a pickup of 5. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL now. You know, that delay similar to the play that sprung him for 91 yards in the first quarter.
That's the same play they've been running. Very effective today. Not so effective there. The Rams do a nice job of getting him going sideways and then tackling really well, as Steve Spagnuolo told Jennifer Hale coming out of half. We need to tackle better. They're doing a nice job in the second half.
Third down and 10, however, and another chance for the Rams to put the clamps on here to keep it at 10. And here comes the blitz. Romo rolling out, and the pass is incomplete. Witten, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up fourth down for Dallas. And Dan Bailey is going to come on to try a long field goal.
And Tony Romo told us, I'm expecting pressure. Steve Spagnuolo and I have played against each other a lot when he was the coordinator of the New York Giants. He was expecting it. He can't cash in right here. Steve Spagnuolo getting back to who they are as a defense, and that's a pressure defense.
Here is Bailey, who has missed just 1 field goal attempt. This from 51 yards out, and this kick is good. And the Cowboys have raised their lead now to 20-7 over the St. Louis Rams with 5:32 to go, and Steven Jackson coming back onto the field for the Rams to see what they can do.
Des Bryant and Miles Austin having fun over there on the sidelines. They're having fun because they're both finally healthy out there together with Tony Romo. This Cowboys offense starting to come together. This Cowboys team starting to come together. Jason Garrett sure hopes so.
And a flag goes down, and that ball, I think, went out of bounds before it went into the end zone, and so the Rams will get the ball at the 40-yard line.
Kick out of bounds, ball, yard line.
Now, Alberto Riveron is just not moving his lips and not speaking. We've had a little short in his mic from time to time. But we could understand that one. And the Rams will start from the 40. And see what Rob Ryan's defense does. It's the backup quarterback today. A.J. Feely, starting his first game in 4 years, has completed 12 of 17, 91 yards, and an interception that ultimately resulted in a field goal for Dallas. Here's Steven Jackson and tripped up behind the line. Abram Elam, and a loss of 1 on the play.
Abram Elam having a nice game for the Dallas Cowboys defense. He came over from Cleveland with Rob Ryan. He caused the fumble. He recovered the fumble. Now he's living in the St. Louis Rams backfield. Abram Elam having a fine game for the Cowboys.
Alexander going in motion to the right on 2nd down and 11. And again, they hand off to Jackson. And the Cowboys are there for the answer. As Sean Lismore and Josh Brent combined, and a 2-yard gain. That will bring up 3rd and long for the Rams. Came in as the lowest scoring team in the NFL, averaging just under 10 points a game. They have 7 right now. They've been decent, however, on 3rd down conversions, but they need 9 right here. And they're going to run it with Jackson. Hemmed in, and down he goes. No gain on the play, and Marcus Spears, who started in place of Jason Hatcher today at right defensive end, comes in to make the play, and Donnie Jones will come in to kick it away.
Well, Rob Ryan told us coming in, #1 priority. Jason Garrett, anyone that we asked told us #1 priority, corral Steven Jackson. And if you're the Rams, I think you got to understand that on 3rd down, you got to take a chance getting the ball downfield, giving yourself a chance on a 3rd down conversion.
Jackson's gained 60 yards today, and Des Bryant calling for the fair catch. Just inside the 15. 3:31 remaining in the 3rd. Cowboys in front by that much. We know Albert Pujols was the hero last night. Who will be the hero in Game 4 of the World Series? Right there at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, following football right here on Fox. And will the Rangers come back and even this best-of-7 World Series at 2 games apiece, or do the Cardinals take a 3-1 lead? 1st down and 10 at the 14 for Dallas, leading by 13. The pitch going to DeMarco Murray. Murray tiptoeing down the sideline, stays in bounds, gets a 1st down, and 19 before he's finished, with Quinton Michael pushing him out of bounds. Big play by Murray there.
Well, Jason Garrett told us we've got to get used to our new offensive line. We're smaller, we're quicker. As a result, we need to do misdirection. We need to run outside. Fiametta, the fullback, doing a great job getting a hat on James Laurinaitis, and DeMarco Murray continues to run the ball outstanding. 172 yards now for DeMarco Murray. This is the balance that Jason Garrett and this Cowboys offense have been looking for.
And 180 yards total rushing for Dallas. 1st down at the 33. Murray has handled most of the ball carrying duties. He gets the call again, going up the middle, and spins his way to the 38 before Stewart brings him down, gain of 5. Game break time with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Carson Palmer did not start for the Raiders today, but he's been in the game. Maybe he shouldn't have been. Throws the pick 6 to Brandon Flowers. 55 yards on the return. Kansas City all over the Raiders. 28-0 at the start of the 4th quarter, Dick and John.
All right, no huddle here for the Cowboys. Thank you, Kurt. 2nd down and 6. Here is Murray. Steady dose of Murray. What a show he's put on. He gets the first down out to the 45-yard line, picking up 6 more yards. He has really handled most of the ball-carrying duties today.
I want you to watch Montre Holland coming to your screen, number 64, leading DeMarco Murray through the hole. Montre Holland was cut after training camp. They brought him back this week. He provides some of that mass they've been looking for, 330 pounds. There he shows the agility and comes out. Came in here Wednesday, starting on Sunday. Nice job by Montre Holland.
And here's DeMarco Murray, first career 100-yard game, and he smashed that. In fact, had 91 on 1 carry in the first quarter. And here's a delay to Murray, who brings it out to the 48-yard line, where Laurinaitis makes the tackle. Once again, Felix Jones not playing today. Out of action with the high ankle sprain, and they expect that he'll miss 2 to 4 weeks. But Murray has more than filled the bill.
Yes, he has. And I think Jason Garrett, not only trying to win a football game, he's trying to prove a point to his team. He's trying to hammer home a point. We need to be able to run the football to go where we want to go. You've got the 32nd dead last ranked rush defense. They're taking advantage of it.
Philip Tanner in at running back. Cowboys 5 yards away from 200 yards rushing. 2nd and 6, and they fake a handoff to Tanner. Does Romo and overthrows Miles Austin. He had Josh Gordy covering downfield. So 3rd down and 6 upcoming for the Cowboys.
But I love it. You run the football effectively. You get the one-on-one situations outside with Miles Austin. He runs a double move. Nice defense by Gordy. But you got to like that if you're the Cowboys. You set up those one-on-one situations by running the football with great effectiveness. Starting to all work together. Pick your poison. You want to stop the run, we'll come after you in our pass game with our receivers outside.
They got a big game at Philadelphia next week, a division game. Tashard Choice, remember he was shaken up a little while ago. He's back in there now on 3rd down and 6. Fake to Choice in the quick toss, and it's knocked down. Good defensive play by Al Harris against Miles Austin. Harris has been a star for the Ram team defensively all day.
He really has. You're going to see him one-on-one right here with Miles Austin. He's not backing off. That's what Al Harris does best. Bump and run defense. Gets his hands on him. Goes and makes the play. Great job by Al Harris.
And you can do it within that 5-yard span.
Absolutely.
So McBriar kicking to Austin Pettis with just about a half a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. And the Rams coming in trying to get a piece of it. And this kick will bounce at the 1. Take a Dallas hop back, and it's down inside the 5 by Alan Ball. Great job done by Kozar getting that backspin. You know how to do that with your wedges, I'm sure. Well, next week on NFL on Fox, the early game, it'll be the Saints against the Rams, or the Vikings face the Panthers. In our late game, the Redskins take on the Bills in Toronto, and the Lions face the Broncos. So I want to remind you that the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Ball is at the 3. Movement off the left side.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Roger Saffold, it'll be half the distance to the 1.5-yard line here.
Well, DeMarcus Ware has been somewhat quiet, but this is the pressure he puts on you. Working against Saffold, who's played him quite well today. But you're always aware of getting off the ball quick, because DeMarcus Ware gets off the line of scrimmage quicker than anybody in the NFL as a pass rusher.
They got Brandon Lloyd to the bottom of your screen. 1st down and 11. And they go underneath to Steven Jackson. And gets it out to the 5-yard line. And that may be the last play of the 3rd quarter, as Brady James makes the play. And that will be it. Cowboys took a 7-0 lead. And at one point we're up 17-7, added a field goal. That's the end of the third quarter. The Cowboys 20, Rams 7. Fox NFL Sunday continues after a break from your local Fox station. Des Bryant has been the big play receiver for Tony Romo, who has thrown a touchdown pass and 136 yards rushing, and we start the fourth quarter with the Cowboys leading 20-7. And second down and 8 for the Rams on their 5. That's DeMarcus Ware. Trying to time, gets picked up nicely, but Feely in trouble in the end zone and completes the pass to Omana Wananui, and a first down. He had a 16-yard reception earlier in the game, gets 27 here. And out of trouble go the Rams, John.
Well, a really nice job by A.J. Feely. This is supposed to be just a quick throw. It's not there. He holds the ball dangerous in the end zone, but finds Oho Manawanui. A big gain for A.J. Feely, getting some room out of that end zone, backed up. Nice job.
First down at the 33 of St. Louis. Play action again. Looking one way, and the pass is overthrown to Dario Alexander, so it's 2nd and 10.
If you're the Rams now, Dick, you got a 13-point deficit. You got to strike. You got to put points on the board. It's something they've struggled to do all year. You've gone out and acquired Brandon Lloyd. I'd have him in there, and I'd have him active. Got to find a way to get some explosion in this offense.
A touchdown and a conversion would bring the Rams to within 6 points. We just started this fourth quarter. Now it's 2nd and 10. Pressure up the middle. It's picked up. Feely's pass incomplete, intended for Alexander on a crossing pattern. That was Keith Brooking. Coming up the middle on Feely, so it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Rob Ryan continues to dial up. He's always changing. I circled DeMarcus Ware earlier. He hasn't had much success rushing from the right side. They move him over to the left side. A.J. Feely with the sun in his eyes here.
Third and 10. Again, pressure on Feely going up the middle, and the pass way off the mark, intended for Brandon Lloyd. But once again, Rob Ryan's defense putting pressure on A.J. Feely, the backup quarterback for Sam Bradford today. 4th down coming up, and a kicking situation.
And Brandon Lloyd really frustrated coming off the field there, because that's exactly what you want. You know when they're going to bring that pressure on a 3rd and 10. You have your one-on-one. A.J. Feely's got to give him a chance to make a play.
Well, last week the Rams did not have Feely at quarterback or Brandon Lloyd as a wide receiver. First time they played together. Donnie Jones with the kick. Des Bryant looking for a return here at the 14. And finally runs out of bounds. So a timeout, just under 14 minutes to go. A lot of time left. Tony Romo comes back in.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. By Windows 7. And by Pizza Hut, where we're big fans of delicious pizza deals, only at your Pizza Hut.
Game of the World Series begins about an hour and 20 minutes from now. And so batting practice in progress over at the Rangers ballpark in Arlington. Meanwhile, here the Dallas Cowboys trying to get to 500 at 3-3, have a first down on the 22. And DeMarco Murray having a banner game, still trying to break out of the pack. Michael brings him down hard after a gain of 5. Taking a look at the Cowboy offensive leaders. Romo's touchdown pass was to Witten. Bryant has been the big play man. And how about Murray with 187 yards? That's 3rd highest for a rookie.
We've seen the breakout runs, but this is even more impressive. Look at this. Keeping those pistons firing, keeping the legs going. DeMarco Murray really showing that, hey, I want to be the guy at the running back position for the Dallas Cowboys.
Second down and 5. They go again to Murray. Murray breaks it. What a cut by Murray! And finally goes down and around the 30-yard line. And hope he's all right, because didn't see anyone get to him to make a tackle, but he went down and appears to be okay. He got 43 yards on that play.
Well, we just talked about the second effort. Here's another example, and then he throws the explosion on top of it. Josh Gordon can't get him, and then the speed goes to work. And I'm with you, Dick. It looks like he pulls a hamstring or something, because he just kind of falls down here. I think maybe just trying to protect the football. He's probably tired. He hasn't run this much in a while.
Well, I'll tell you what he's done. He is the third 200-yard rusher in Cowboys history, and he's 2 behind Emmitt Smith's record of 237. And Tony Dorsett, as a rookie, gained 206. He blew by him. Murray goes out and gets a breather, and he's averaged nearly 11 yards per carry. And let's see if he is just shaken up a bit, not just winded.
I think he's just tired. DeMarco Murray at the end of this run, he says, I haven't had 22 carries since Norman, Oklahoma. Felix Jones been getting the majority of the carries. He's worn out. You run for 235 yards. It's tough sled. Great job by DeMarco Murray announcing his presence with authority today.
And now an official is over on the sideline. The Rams bench being tended to. That's the field judge, Steve Zimmer, who is shaken up. DeMarco Murray, Cowboy rookie rushing record, 235 yards. Passing Tony Dorsett, who had 206 yards back in 1977, replaced by Philip Tanner. And a first down on the 30-yard line of the Rams. Here is Tanner with the carry, and he picks up about 2.
We saw that shot on the sidelines, and DeMarco Murray's teammates are saying, what happened to you, buddy? But 235 yards, they can laugh all they want. They may have just found their running back in DeMarco Murray.
And the running game is something that the Cowboys, John, talked to us about. 27th in rushing offense coming into this game, and exploding team-wise, 245 yards. But 235 coming from Murray. Second down and 8 for Romo. And this pass is caught inside the 20 by Des Bryant. It'll be another first down for Dallas. That's a 10-yard pickup. Bryant with his 4th catch of the game.
Look at the catch by Des Bryant. He's going to extend himself out there. Has his ball, has his hand underneath the ball. That's a catch. Outstanding catch by Des Bryant, who I think is trying to dispel that second half deal. Coming out having a real productive second half for the Dallas Cowboys.
And this is a different Dallas Cowboy game in a lot of respects. They're running the ball. They have sort of a margin here of 20-7, which isn't usually the case, and we'll have a false start penalty called against Dallas.
Number 80, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Martellus Bennett, tight end.
This is what Jason Garrett wanted. We talked to him this week. Keys to the game. Number 1, play our game. And when he said that, he said, we got to be balanced. We have to establish some balance. I think he understood the opportunity to establish that today. We've talked about the Rams' problems stopping the run, and Dallas has certainly taken advantage of it.
First and 15 on the delayed. Tanner going up the middle. Tanner, first down to the 5. Great balance by Philip Tanner. From Middle Tennessee State, Ryan Keel brings him down. A gain of 18. First and goal, Cowboys.
Well, great running by Tanner, but again, look at Romo. Look at him hold the linebackers. He sells pass right away. Montre Holland with the terrific block, and Philip Tanner goes and does the rest. They continue to run the ball right through the St. Louis Rams defense.
And this is kind of a get-well game for the Dallas Cowboys, who were 2 and 3, blowing leads late in games, coming from behind. Everything has been an adventure. Right now, this game is not an adventure for Dallas. Here's Tanner. Up the middle. Edges way in. Touchdown, Cowboys. 6-yard touchdown for the rookie, Philip Tanner. And his first NFL touchdown in a game in which he had his first NFL carries.
Jason Garrett said about Philip Tanner, this is a smart, determined young man who earned his way onto this roster. College free agent. Look at that effort. He's trying to stick around. He doesn't want to just be a flash in the pan. Great run by Philip Tanner, extending the football over the end line for the touchdown.
Dan Bailey for the extra point. And the Cowboys now lead by 20, 27-7.
Second effort by the Dallas Cowboys running backs. DeMarco Murray gets his shot. Philip Tanner comes and finishes the drive. Domination by the Dallas Cowboys.
So Felix Jones not playing because of injuries. So DeMarco Murray comes in and gains 235 yards. Philip Tanner gets his first NFL carry and touchdown. Tashard Choice also contributes. For a team that doesn't run the ball, they sure have a lot of running backs, John.
You heard of Wally Pipp?
Right. I have. Quinn Porter is back deep. Runs it out from about 7 in the end zone and slips at the 13. Well, Tanner shows that there's more than just a backup running back for the Dallas Cowboys. They're up by 20.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving.
Chris Rose having fun in the parking lot here, but he's got to go to work, doesn't he, Dick?
Yeah, he does. You know, game time is over for him. He can throw the football, spin the football, kid around. He'll be on the set with A.J. Pierzynski and Eric Karros before the World Series, which gets underway on Fox. Here's the quick out to Greg Salas. Breaks and out to the outside and pushed out of bounds, picking up decent yardage, and a flag is down as well as Salas is tossed out of bounds at the 34 by Abram Elam. And a gain of 21 yards.
I don't think it was a flag, it was a pink towel. Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the NFL, you get confused with those flags and towels from players.
Rather see that than a penalty.
That's right.
A reminder of a breast cancer awareness. First down and 10 at the 34. Feely handing off to Cadillac Williams. The run defense today, other than that 40-yard run by Steven Jackson, has been terrific. 1-yard gain thanks to Anthony Spencer.
This is the #1 ranked run defense in the National Football League. Rob Ryan, what he's brought, he brings a defense that's multiple. They're moving all over. They play everyone on their roster defensively, but they're fundamentally sound. I have a lot of respect for Rob Ryan and what he's done here in Dallas with this defense, and I think it's only going to get better.
Play action, pressure, and the pass caught in stride by Denario Alexander. When you say multiple, how would you describe that to you?
Well, sometimes you turn on, it's a traditional look, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. Other times you've got 2 down linemen, 5 linebackers, 4 defensive backs. They're all over the place. They're interchangeable. DeMarcus Ware said, sometimes I'll tell Anthony Spencer, you come on over here. He allows input from his players. They have open meetings. He wants ownership of the defense from his players. It provides a lot of challenges for opposing offenses. It doesn't hurt to have DeMarcus Ware either.
No, he can do a lot of things with him. 3rd down and 4. Good protection this time, but the pass incomplete up the middle, intended for Alexander. And there was DeMarcus Ware coming in strong on Feely. And it is 4th down. Rams will go for it, apparently.
Watch DeMarcus here, where working against Roger Saffold, the power and leverage. He shows the speed, then he throws him off. Pressure, that's what he's done all year. He plays everything well. That's why people like Bill Belichick, who don't throw around many comments like this, compare him to Lawrence Taylor, the greatest of all time.
I never heard anyone compared to Lawrence Taylor. 4th and 4 with 7.5 to play. Hit from behind and nearly picked off. DeMarcus Ware once again determined to get in, and nearly an interception. Sure whether Jay Ratliff came the closest, but anyway, the Cowboys take over on downs.
Well, on cue, here comes DeMarcus Ware. Hits A.J. Feely. That's why Rob Ryan, Steve Spagnuolo said there's nobody better in football. I agree with him. As I told you, I think the MVP of the league, along with Aaron Rodgers.
On the ground, he was touched, therefore he was down by contact, short of the line to gain. First down, Dallas.
In any event, DeMarcus Ware is backing your comments up to a T. We'll be back. All right, there was a fumble on 4th down, and the only way you can get possession if it's the same guy who lost the ball has to recover it. It can't be a teammate. That's the old Oakland Raiders, Ken Stabler, San Diego Charger rule from many, many years ago. So Dallas will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 39 of the Rams. And DeMarco Murray.
There was a fumble by the offensive team on 4th down. Therefore, by rule, when the ball is recovered by the offensive team in advance of the fumble, the ball will be placed at the spot of the fumble, which is why the ball was moved back. It will still be 1st and 10 Dallas.
Good explanation by Alberto Riveron. And it'll be a 1st down at the 39. And so DeMarco Murray, as we said, back in the lineup. He is 2 yards shy of the all-time single-game Dallas rushing record held by Emmitt Smith. Murray on the pitch. And here is Murray, and he's going to move ahead of Emmitt Smith. All time, be a yard shy of the 1st down, gets 9 yards. So he has 234. That's 7 more than Emmitt Smith got in the game. 244 yards.
That's not a bad guy to be passing, by the way. The all-time NFL leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. And DeMarco Murray just ran right by him. 277 total yards. Most rush yards in the NFL this season. That's what Jason Garrett's looking for.
2nd down and 1. 6:46 on the clock. And that's not all the Cowboys have achieved in this game, en route to a rare breather for them. Here's Murray again going outside, turning the corner, 1st down. And Murray is down to the 20 for a game break. Let's again check in with Kurt Menefee.
And a look at another rookie, Christian Ponder, getting his first NFL start for the Vikings. He's thrown 2 interceptions, but also 2 touchdowns. This one to Michael Jenkins pulls it closer. They're trying to upset the Packers, who, of course, haven't lost all season long. It's 33-27 late in the 4th quarter. Green Bay holding on, Dick.
Hanging in there with Ponder, aren't they, John?
Christian Ponder looking effective there. He's going to have his ups and downs. We heard the 2 interceptions, but 2 touchdowns. That team needed a spark, and it appears as if Christian Ponder's doing it.
1st down at the 20 of the Rams. Cowboys leading 27-7, and here's DeMarco Murray. Well, Murray's yardage here, and he's added. He's over 250 now in the game, and he has picked up 3, so he has 252 yards. And the Cowboys, 285 yards, are the best by any individual and any team this year in the league. Murray goes to the bench, and high fives all around for a memorable game for DeMarco Murray, replaced by Philip Tanner. 2nd down and 6. Tanner dropped for a loss of 4 by Fred Robbins.
DeMarco Murray came in in last week's game versus New England, and Jason Garrett said he looked comfortable for the first time since they've gotten him from Oklahoma. Well, I'd say so. He looked very comfortable today, to the tune of a Cowboy record.
And a lot of the fans of the Dallas Cowboys have been impressed with Philip Tanner, and they've been, saying, hey, let's get Tanner in there as a running back. Tanner's pretty good, but DeMarco Murray had a record-setting day today for the Cowboys, and Tanner also has been impressive with a touchdown.
Stated his case. Look at this. All the Rams up here, one-on-ones outside.
And there's the fade, and it's caught for the touchdown by Dez Bryant. How about this second half for Dez Bryant?
And Jason Garrett, pretty prophetic. We've got to run the football. That will open us up outside, allow us to use our playmakers. And the script has read just like that. Josh Gordy all alone out there. Great ball by Tony Romo. Great job by Dez Bryant going and fighting for the football. And Dez Bryant says, thanks, coach.
33-7 on the 20-yard touchdown strike. Dan Bailey adds the extra point. And with 4:07 remaining in the game, the Cowboys lead it by a score of 34-7. This is the most points the Cowboys have scored this year. And here it is again.
Everybody except the two corners outside, up and coming. Great job of picking up the blitz, and a perfect throw by Tony Romo. Dez Bryant finishes it. Great concentration by Dez Bryant. Battling for the football. Touchdown, Cowboys.
And Josh Gordy doing a pretty good job of trying to keep the ball out of Dez Bryant's hands. But Tony Romo now with 2 touchdown passes, 14 of 24 for 166, and jubilance as Bryant can't restrain himself in trying to hug the head coach.
Well, it's good to see Jason Garrett smiling. He's been under some heat. The owner, Jerry Jones, great, passionate owner. He brought into question his play calling at the end. You can call plays with confidence when you're running the football. And I love it about Jerry Jones. I don't like the fact in questioning his coach, because I think that allows a lot of people, but you can't deny his passion for having a successful team, for having a winner in Dallas. Back to 3-3. That NFC East wide open. The Giants at 4-2. You got to like Cowboys' chances moving forward.
And how about this building when you talk about Jerry Jones? Quinn Porter returning for the Rams. Good return by Porter as he brings it out past the 30 and is dropped with 4 minutes remaining. Meanwhile, not very far from here, the Rangers ballpark in Arlington will be the scene of Game 4 of the World Series. The Cardinals, winning 16-7 last night, will send Edwin Jackson, who was acquired in a 3-team deal at the trading deadline from the White Sox. The Blue Jays were also involved in that deal. And Derek Holland, whose Rangers are 3-0 when he has started in postseason, will be on the mound for Texas. First down at the 35. The quick and the good catch by Brandon Lloyd. He hasn't had a chance to do much today, but close to the first down, and may have it.
What a treat we had yesterday, Dick, getting an opportunity to go over to the baseball stadium and sit down with Tony La Russa. We got to hang out in the Cardinals clubhouse. What a guy he is, and what a coaching job. You talk about come from behind, 10.5 out. And here they are leading the World Series.
He has a football coach's mentality and a baseball manager's head. First down. A.J. Feely getting the rush from DeMarcus Ware, and very nearly deflected it into his own hands. All right, we teach you in back to school. That's what John Lynch does. Tell us about DeMarcus Ware,
Well,
John.
I've been bragging about him all day. Now I'm going to show you. This is last week versus New England. Going against Matt Light, a very good left tackle. Get off me, Matt Light. Run through the running back and finish off Tom Brady. He's going to play the run, too. Rob Gronkowski, supposed to be the best blocking tight end in football. Throws him around, makes the tackle, and then I can go ahead, drop it some pass coverage, too. This guy's a dynamic player. He does it all. A great fit for Rob Ryan's system.
Second down and 10. And again, they go outside to Steven Jackson, the running back, and Jackson is down about 2 yards shy of the first down by Keith Brooking. You know what I'm impressed with? What DeMarcus Ware is doing here with his team in front 34-7 and blowing out the Rams.
And you're talking about that last play. He just rushed the passer, got caught, got cut down on his legs, got up, ran down the field 10 yards and made the tackle on Steven Jackson. This guy plays all out all the time. Big time respect, and you know the great thing, they say he's even a better person.
You won't find anyone more popular the last several years than DeMarcus Ware. 3rd down and 2. Feely completes the pass for the first down to Brandon Lloyd. This is why the Rams got Lloyd. They're going to lose today, but Brandon Lloyd gives them a new dimension that they haven't had before. He gets 34 yards on that one.
Well, we expected it earlier, but now we're getting it, and he's showing how dynamic he is as a player. Going to catch the ball, but then going to go to work. That's why he led the NFL in receiving yards last year under Josh McDaniels in Denver.
And, of course, knows this offense as well as you can possibly know it. And a first down at the 13. Here's DeMarcus Ware trying to get in. Not this time, as he flips it out to Jackson. And ridden out of bounds nicely by Sean Lee. Hung in there with the big Steven Jackson, and a loss of 4 with 2:15 remaining in the 4th quarter.
I mentioned how multiple this defense is. They throw a lot at you. They didn't have an offseason, and they're already the 4th-ranked defense coming into today. 5th-ranked, excuse me. I think it's only going to get better, Dick. I like the Cowboys' chances moving forward in the NFC East.
And you know, the NFC East isn't perhaps as powerful it's been, so it's anyone's division as Jackson carries it inside the 5 and is upended and stopped short of the goal line by Gerald Sensabaugh. Picks up 15. And on the day, Jackson has gained 75 yards. Scored a touchdown, including a 40-yard run. And we're down to the 2-minute warning here at Cowboys Stadium with the Cowboys in front 34-7.
Today's game is sponsored by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. And there is the Rangers ballpark in Arlington, where the Cardinals and Rangers will battle in Game 4 of the World Series. Game 5 will be tomorrow night. 1st and goal from the 2 for the Rams. And here's a play-action pass. It's tipped and incomplete. Spears got a hand on it, so it's 2nd and goal.
Well, it's a good thing that Spears does get a hand on it, because if not, it's a touchdown. Great sell of the play action by A.J. Feely. Good job by Spears getting his hands up. Lance Kendricks was wide open in the back of the end zone. Would have been a touchdown. Nice job by Marcus Spears.
Well, don't fool yourself. These Cowboys, urged on by Rob Ryan, want to keep the Rams out of the end zone, even though they had this game won. 2nd down and goal from the 2. And here's Feely's pass. And it is caught for the touchdown. And now they say incomplete. Brandon Lloyd. You have to maintain possession when you hit the ground and not see it roll away.
A good job by Jenkins, not giving up on the play. Lloyd looks like he plucks the football. Jenkins fights through, but you got to control the catch through the process of going to the ground. Brandon Lloyd doesn't do that.
Yeah, he never had possession. Never had possession. 3rd and goal. Pressure on Feely. And incomplete. Intended for Lloyd once again. And DeMarcus Ware with another big rush on A.J. Feely. So 4th and goal.
You mentioned to it. It means something to these Cowboys to keep him out of the end zone. Look at DeMarcus Ware. They try to block him with Adam Goldberg. He comes in. That's not fun for A.J. Feely right there. That prevented a touchdown.
So 4th and goal from the 2. Let's see if the Cowboys jumped.
Encroachment, number 90. Defense, half the distance of the goal. It will still be 4th down.
So it's 4th down, and the ball will be placed at the 1.
Well, if you're looking for positives for the Rams today, the hard count's been very effective. A.J. Feely doing a great job controlling the snap count. Steve Spagnuolo, rough year. As he said, perfect storm. I think moving forward, you got to continue to put players around your franchise, who's Sam Bradford at the quarterback position.
And they hope he can get back as soon as possible, as high ankle sprains could be tricky. 4th and goal from the 1. Here is Steven Jackson going outside. He's not going to get there. And the Cowboys prevent the touchdown. Abram Elam, who has been, along with DeMarcus Ware, the star of the defense for the Cowboys. And look how happy the Cowboys are in a 34-7 game to keep the Rams out of the end zone.
And a game like this, a play like this, late in the game can galvanize a team moving forward. If it matters this much on 4th down, up 34-7, that says a lot for this football team. They're battling. Look at the hustle by Abram Elam, by DeMarcus Ware. Outstanding job by this Dallas defense. They can really build on this game moving forward. Outstanding win for the Dallas Cowboys in all phases.
So the defense with an outstanding game today. And John Kitna is in at quarterback now for the final minute and a half. And after last 11 games for the Cowboys were decided by a total of 30 points. There's a 27-point margin today.
They can exhale finally. Every game has been coming down to the wire. These guys have been feeling it. I've been through it before. We went through 7 games in Tampa back in 2000. I told Jason Garrett the good news. 2002, we won the Super Bowl. Don't know if that's going to happen for the Cowboys, but being in all these close games hardens you. It makes you more mentally tough as a football team. I think they can learn from it.
Philip Tanner carried the last time and does here. Still not down. And Chamberlain finally puts him down. The Cowboys will go to 3-3 on the year, and they have a game in Philadelphia next week, a division game. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Cowboys, to be able to have a free and easy breather today. And they're going to win 34-7, and they have a tough division game. They are 1-0 in the NFC East, beating Washington. And now we'll play at Philadelphia. And meanwhile, the Rams will have a home game against the New Orleans Saints next week. Still looking for their first win of the year. They'll be 0-6 and have dropped their last 7. And by virtue of the win today, the Cowboys will go into a second-place tie with the Washington Redskins at 3-3, with the Giants, who had a bye today, 4-2. The Eagles 2-4 with a bye as well. Tight NFC East. 34-7 the final score. For John Lynch and Jennifer Hale, Dick Stockton saying so long. And right now, let's send you to Minnesota for Tom Brenneman and Troy Aikman, the conclusion of that game.